Tinnitus. That constant sound, sometimes a ringing, sometimes a buzzing, or something you can't even describe, can be incredibly frustrating. And if you're here, chances are you've experienced it and are searching for answers. Let's dive straight into it. There are several hidden factors that could be contributing to your tinnitus, and today, I'm going to reveal them to you. Don't worry, you don't need to be a medical expert to understand this. I'll break it down in simple terms so that by the end of this, you'll have a new perspective on how to deal with tinnitus starting today. Many people assume tinnitus is just caused by exposure to loud noises or aging. And sure, that's true for some, but there's so much more beneath the surface. One of the biggest culprits? Stress. And I'm not just talking about a bad day at work. I mean chronic stress, the kind that slowly drains your energy and puts your nervous system on high alert all the time. When that happens, your brain starts amplifying sounds that aren't even there. It's like when you're trying to sleep, and even the faintest ticking of a clock feels unbearably loud. Your brain is stuck in survival mode, picking up everything, including that annoying tinnitus sound. Now, here's something most people don't realize. This hyper-alert state in your nervous system can be fueled by seemingly harmless daily habits, like not getting enough rest or consuming too much caffeine. And before you tell me, "But I need my coffee," the problem isn't coffee itself, it's how it affects your nervous system when you're already overwhelmed. Another overlooked factor is diet. I know it sounds cliche to say, you are what you eat, but when it comes to tinnitus, this couldn't be truer. Deficiencies in essential nutrients like vitamin B12, zinc, and magnesium are directly linked to worsening tinnitus. Think of your body as a machine. If it's not getting the right resources, it starts to break down. And tinnitus is often one of the first signs that something's off. So if you're someone who lives on processed foods or skips meals, you could be making the problem worse without realizing it. And it's not just food. Pay attention to this. It's important. Have you ever heard of jaw tension syndrome? It's far more common than most people think. We spend so much time hunched over our computers or phones that our neck and jaw muscles become overworked. This tension can radiate to the ears, causing or worsening tinnitus. You might not even notice it, but clenching your teeth or sleeping on a poorly designed pillow could be contributing to the issue. Speaking of posture, here's an example that might resonate with you. Think of a guitar string. If you stretch it unevenly, it makes an odd, distorted sound, right? That's how muscle tension works in your body. If your muscles are out of balance, it's like creating feedback in the system, and the result can be that constant ringing in your ears. But that's not all. One of the most obvious yet often ignored factors is the excessive use of headphones. We live in a time when everyone has earbuds in, whether it's for music, podcasts, or virtual meetings. The louder the volume and the longer you use them, the worse it is for your ears. Think of it like putting a microphone too close to a speaker and getting that piercing feedback noise. Over time, your ears get overwhelmed and they start sending the wrong signals to your brain, resulting in tinnitus. Here's a simple tip. Turn the volume down. You don't need to crank it up to enjoy your favorite song or podcast. And if possible, invest in noise-canceling headphones. They block out external noise, so you don't have to turn the volume up as much. Your ears will thank you for this small change. Now let me share a truth that not many people consider. Tinnitus is often not just an ear problem. It's a reflection of something bigger happening in your body. Think of your body as a house. Tinnitus might be the smoke alarm going off, but the fire is somewhere else. It could be an issue with blood circulation, inflammation you didn't even know you had, or even a side effect of the medications you take every day. Have you ever checked the side effects on the medications you use? Many common drugs, including blood pressure meds, antibiotics, and even over-the-counter painkillers, list tinnitus as a possible side effect.
That's why it's so important to look at your body as a whole. Treating the symptoms isn't enough. You need to address the root cause. And speaking of solutions, I want to take a moment to invite you to explore something that could really make a difference. Click the link in the description to learn more about a powerful resource that's been helping many people reduce tinnitus symptoms naturally and effectively. Let's get back to it. Another factor worth mentioning is the impact of environmental noise. It's not just concerts or loud machinery that affect your ears. Everyday sounds, like the constant hum of a fan or urban traffic, can also play a role. And the worst part? Over time, you might get used to these sounds, but your ears don't. They're still taking the hit, even if you don't consciously notice it anymore. Here's another key point: emotional health. Anxiety and depression don't just affect your mind. They can actually amplify tinnitus symptoms. It's like your brain is so overwhelmed that it can't filter out unnecessary signals, and the result is that constant ringing that seems impossible to escape. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your ears. And yes, I know that's easier said than done, but even small steps, like practicing deep breathing or meditating for just a few minutes a day, can make a huge difference. If all of this feels overwhelming, don't worry. The key is to take small steps. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick 1 or 2 things you can start working on today. Maybe it's cutting back on caffeine, doing some stretches to release muscle tension, or even just setting aside a little time to relax. And here's my final message. You don't have to accept tinnitus as a permanent part of your life. There are solutions, there are paths forward, and often the answer lies in something simple you haven't tried yet. Click the link in the description to discover a resource that might be exactly what you need to transform your relationship with tinnitus. The important thing is to remember that every small step you take toward a healthier lifestyle is a step toward easing this issue. Your body is amazing, and when you start giving it the care it deserves, the results can be truly remarkable. So take that step today because the change you're looking for is within reach.